Okay, so today I have found a bunch of questions that people have been asking Google. So the most popular search terms, and I have selected some of the questions to answer for you today with my expert level of VTuber knowledge. So these are some of the questions that Google thinks are the most popular ones. Oh my god, my phone, I said that Google, and my phone just woke up and was like, yes. Why do you talk like that? Okay, so the first one I thought I'd have to answer was, why do VTubers exist? I don't know, should I apologize? I feel like why do VTubers exist is a really angry question. It's like, why? Why do VTubers exist? And I'm here just going, I don't know, man. I'm just an anime girl. I didn't mean for this. I'm here to bring joy. Please don't be mean to me. VTubers, I feel like, are just the natural, to talk on a serious note, I feel like VTubers are a natural progression of streamers. Like you could go back and go, why do streamers exist? Why do comedians exist? You could kind of take it back. I think it's just like a natural virtual progression of live entertainment. So VTubers are just live entertainers in a different medium that's able to reach people all over the world. You bring up a good point, Tabitha, because you could be like, well, then why don't you just be a streamer? Why don't you just be a streamer? Well, VTubers allow you to, like, yeah, there's the anonymity aspect, I guess. You can have a consistent anime character to represent you online. Some people prefer to use a VTuber as an avatar. So basically they're just them, but they have a VTuber avatar. And I think this is probably more how a lot of corporate VTubers are. I think it's VTubers as a character. Most corporate VTubers, I feel, aren't just like a streamer with a virtual avatar on. It's a creative outlet to play a character. I don't know if it's a dichotomy. It could be more of a scale. And I'm open to it being a scale because, you know, I think there's times where I am definitely Sara Nagare, serpent, storyteller, PRISM Project Generation 4, here to create history. But there are times where I'm also just you know, Sara Nagare. A person who's speaking to you. Yeah, even with chat, like, I don't know that the people that you present yourselves to be to me are the people that you actually are in real life. In real life, I'm way less down bad. I don't actually look like Haruka from Idolmaster? No! My illusion! I can't believe chat's breaking their fourth wall for me right now. Everything's falling apart! I think the best VTubers are, at least to me, are the ones who are able to, like, meld the character with parts of themselves. Like, they bring out sort of the best parts of themselves and they put them into a character. As a look behind the curtain, I wonder if I do that for you guys. Anyway, let's move on to the next question. Why do VTubers have lore? Some VTubers don't have lore. Not all VTubers have to have lore. Let's start with that. Everyone in PRISM has lore though. Like, okay, there is the canon Sara lore, which is I'm an agent from the future, sent back in time to bring happiness to the world in order to prevent boring future or decline in happiness in the future. It does come into my brain when I'm like, am I bringing happiness to people right now? So Gen 4 are all from different fairy tale universes. So like alternate fairy tale universes. My universe is based on the 1001 Nights, whereas like Non's is based on the Alice in Wonderland, and Naki's is based on Little Red Riding Hood. Do I reference it much? No. Do I contradict my lore consistently by talking about my Australian upbringing? Yes. Does it matter? Not really. You can have fun with the lore if you want. And like, I like the fact that like, yeah, what's the deal with fourth walls? I'm always breaking them. Lore can work in creating a sense of a level of separation from the person behind the screen as well. Yes. It's a suggested lore, you don't have to have it. Fun little fact, I came up with my own lore. So I was kind of just given parameters, but like being a serpent storyteller was my idea because I thought that was a role I could embody well. I like writing, I like books, I like stories, I like storytelling and like the oral tradition of storytelling. Did I choose the snake theme? No. No, the snake theme chose me. What would I have picked besides a snake? Gosh, I didn't even think that there'd be an option. I don't know if I would have had any animal to represent me, honestly. I probably would have just been some guy, so I'm really glad that PRISM took care of that. Which other PRISM Project girl do you think I'd fit the least? I can't imagine Menno with your voice.
Could you imagine me as Menno if I had this voice?
Ipui!
Now do that voice for several months.
I can't do it! Why do VTubers wear gloves? Canonically, every VTuber's hands are really, really cold, and they only become colder when exposed to an actual camera. So that's why we wear gloves. Unfortunately, we would fully disintegrate if human eyes saw actual flesh skin. The camera steals their soul and they steal it finger first. If you see the actual hands, it'll drive you to madness. It's like a Cthulhu sort of thing. It's Lovecraftian. But yeah, honestly, I think it's for a few reasons. Like, some VTubers don't wear gloves. Some VTubers are fine with it, but I think the more actual flesh you see, the more immersion breaking it is that you're watching an anime girl. Yeah, you can't let the credit card info show up in the reflection of their fingernails. Yeah, like you might have a blue character model, and then you can't be like bothered painting your hands blue for every stream. So just put like the, you know. And yeah, like, you know, any distinguishing features, like if you had an arm tattoo, or if you had like those knuckle tattoos, people could know it's you. So I can't become a VTuber. I don't have glove money. But I guess honestly, at the end of the day, it's probably up to the VTuber whether they want to or not. There's reasons why they would not want to, and there's reasons why they would want to. Marriage ring markings, which is a really weird thing about the industry. I never thought about that, but I'm like looking at my hands now, and I'm trying to see if there's any like distinguishing features about my hands. This is really weird. Has anyone ever got a piece of pencil lead stuck inside them? Like from a mechanical pencil? Yes? Yes? Oh my god, there are dozens of us. Cause in my hands, there is a piece of pencil lead stuck inside me. From science class in like year 8 or something. I was like trying to close the pencil lead, like the mechanical pencil lead box. And at least it left a tattoo. And sometimes if I press on that area, I can feel it. So they tried to get it out. Like I went to the nurse and they got out as much as they could. But then they were like, yeah, I think we got it out. But there's like a tattoo mark in there, like just a little dot in my skin. It's not real lead, it's graphite. And I've had it for a very long time now, so a little graphite in your skin won't hurt you. It's like a subdermal implant, it's fine. Rip it out on stream. I don't think I could, it's like well in there. It comes out of me like a sword. So I guess that's probably like the distinguishing feature that I gotta cover up. What else is stuck in you? Nothing! I don't have any more unintentional subdermal implants, or intentional for that matter. I need to know, Sara, for drawing reason details is important. You can't even see it! Little tiny black pixels to represent the graphite stuck in Sara's hand. Let's move on to the next question. This is I tried how do VTubers. You know, we got some here, like, make money. Did I choose that one? I don't know. Like this, I guess. Like this, guys! How do you become a VTuber? There are two ways. You can go my path, my route, which was a corporate agency VTuber, or you could become a VTuber for free yourself as an indie. You don't have to, you know, get into a company to be a VTuber. That might be where I am. But if I never become a company VTuber, I might have become an indie VTuber. Do you need experience as a streamer to get hired? No. I'll talk a bit more about agency VTuber. There's a question that will be very pertinent to that, but you don't need experience as a streamer to get hired. If you have a lot of like sort of experience in other areas, like, you know, in singing, in like comedy, being a VTuber, you can also start off as like a PNG tuber or a GIF tuber, like that's a little bit more animated. So if you're looking for like a low cost or free way to become a VTuber, have a look at V-Road Studio. A lot of folks who start out as Let's Players or Flash Tubers and move into VTubing later. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, you can even just start off as a voice. Like if you just want to get into streaming, you can even just start off with just a voiceover. This leads on to the next question. How do VTubers make their avatars? So I've touched on this in the previous one, but there's like kind of a few different ways that you can make an avatar. Again, if you're a PNG tuber, all you need is the static PNG and the talking PNG. If you are like making it in V-Roid, V-Roid's really low barrier to entry. It has a lot of like easily customizable. If you want to invest a little bit more, a lot of the times people will commission an artist. Yeah, some indies make their own to start. Like if you have some artistic skill, you might actually be best placed to create your own model, or look at even learning how to do live 2D yourself. If you learn to do live 2D yourself and you become quite good at it, it can be quite a lucrative career, I feel. Some indies get to take their design when they join a company as well. If you even got started out as an indie and you wanted to go corporate or agency VTubing one day, it could possibly happen. It could happen to you, you know? Not me though. I showed up and they're like, you're Sara now. And I'm like, okay. And another technical question. How do VTubers stream track face smooth avatars? Okay, so this is basically, I'll let you see behind the curtain. This is basically how it works. So streaming is done using Streamlabs and OBS or any other sort of like broadcasting software, generally one of those. I use OBS, just like the default one, the plain one, to stream, and that's how it sets up things like what I'm showing you right now. You can set up scenes with the chat, with myself, with backgrounds, with music, with everything. My facial tracking right now is being done through my iPhone. Sometimes my iPhone battery dies because I'm a little shit and I forget to charge my iPhone, or I stream for too long and the battery just dies. Do glasses help with the tracking of the eyes? Or the contrary? When I do wear glasses, I don't really notice too much of a difference though. Like, I think provided that the iPhone has a clear vision of your face, it's fine. Sometimes if my bangs are over my eyes, I've got them like, I literally just pushed back my bangs just then. I don't know if you could see it. There you go. When I winked, I covered my eye with my hand. Yeah, it forced a wink because it couldn't see the eye. It's more like, try not to obscure your facial features too much, and it will track really well. Do you need an iPhone? No, you don't. You can use a webcam. The reason why a lot of VTubers use the iPhone is because the iPhone has exceptional facial tracking. I feel like when you watch me talk right now, I actually look really, really natural. Like you can kind of see that like I'm mouthing the words, my face is moving around, my eyes are like looking where I want them to look. It actually just looks like really lifelike. That's why I think a lot of VTubers like to use the facial tracking on the iPhone because it's just it's so good. It's so good. You can use a webcam though, and sometimes when my iPhone dies, I'll switch to webcam, and that's when you kind of notice it's a little more stiff. It's a little bit more, it has a few more errors. I use VTube Studio as well. So VTube Studio is a software that takes the live 2D and connects it to like the facial tracking implement that you're using. So either a webcam or a phone. It just kind of makes it work. And you can then use that program in OBS, because it's got like a transparent background, so you can just kind of overlay yourself on your stream. But in VTube Studio, you can actually fine tune the parameters, and I need to actually do a little bit of fine tuning on my main PC. You can have it set to like, if your mouth is even slightly open, it'll open your mouth. Like you can make it more sensitive, or you can make it less sensitive. It can change like the amount of blushies in my cheeks. At the moment, I think I'm at peak blushy. But I love having blushy cheeks. And yeah, the tongue and stuff, so nah. And that's kind of like how the tracking and moving works. My arms don't really articulate, so like even when I move side to side, I'm just moving my head. Actually, if I move my whole body, and it's a much slower progression. How much CPU usage does all of this take? I'm able to run it off my admittedly quite decent gaming laptop with no issues. When I run a game though, sometimes there's some stutter. On my very good gaming PC, absolutely no issues. But it really depends. Mileage may vary. It's on Steam, so check out I was gonna say serving suggestions. It's the CPU requirements. Yeah. Can VTubers? There's some spicy ones in here, but I've just chosen a few. Can I pass a VTuber company audition? All right, I'll give you my sort of experience auditioning and being a PRISM Project VTuber. Generally, to be in a company, you have to be 18 or over. Like, you've got to be an adult. You've got to, because this is kind of more like a business relationship, you know? No child labor. I'm baby Sara. But generally, one thing that a VTuber company will ask for when you're auditioning is an intro video. I'm gonna out myself a little bit. I was talking to Shogun the other day and I was like, I feel like I catfished PRISM. Because in my intro video, I had Debut Sara voice on. But you know why I decided on Debut Sara? So the Gen 4 auditions had a theme, and the theme was the different fairy tales. And so I always had my sights set on the 1001 Nights character. Because I was like, I think I could portray that. Like, I love the stories, and I think that I could like have a sort of like storyteller sort of persona. I remember I was like weaving this story in the Debut Sara voice, which was kind of like almost like a self-introduction. Like it was telling the story of myself. I actually remember it wasn't very fancy at all. I didn't go over the top with graphics or anything. I was just sort of like overlaid my voice onto a video. I think if you're trying to like sell your video editing as a skill point of yours, then go over the top with the video editing. If you're an artist and you're trying to use that as a selling point, put some art in there. But for me, my selling point was just my ability to talk and my voice. So that's what I tried to sell. Sometimes they won't even watch the whole thing. Like, I've heard from other people that, like, you know, they watched a couple of seconds and that was it. That's not not my experience with PRISM, but like with other VTuber companies that I've heard like friends audition for. They're like, I don't even think they watched my video. So when I went into PRISM, I was like, I want to make it good from the beginning. Like, I will immediately start like talking in my voice and try and like capture the audience attention in the first couple of seconds, and then hopefully they'll keep listening. If you make music, put your music at the very beginning. If you do art, make sure your art is there front and center from the beginning. I feel like mine ultimately was quite basic. I literally just had myself talking overlaid just a regular background. I will never know what my selling point was, like the thing that they latched onto. At least for me, it must have been the way I spoke and the way I wrote my intro script. It was debut Sara voice. I think they probably assumed that I would just be like utter forever. Yeah, you can be really talented but not pass an audition because you don't fit a specific character mold. Exactly. If you didn't know this, I auditioned for PRISM Project Generation 3, but I didn't even get a callback. PRISM Project Generation 4, I'm here. So there you go. I did a very different voice. My PRISM Project Generation 3 audition, I went for a much higher pitched voice and a completely different style of character. When I auditioned for Gen 4, I looked at the roster of PRISM Project agents and I was like, what do they need? Like, I don't want to just be, I'm not just trying to be a copy of someone else. Like, I need to be unique, I need to be original. What do they actually need in this roster that I could bring? And I think that's why I went for the kind of like sexy debut Sara, because I was like, I don't think they have a sexy debut Sara. Well, they already had Ludo. I think they already had a Genki, or at least a very energetic Australian in Luto. So I probably shouldn't have tried to go energetic Australian in Gen 3, because they're like, we already just debuted Luto. But yeah, I want to touch on the fact that, like, with company auditions, don't think that not having streaming experience is like a complete no. Of course, streaming experience helps, but you don't necessarily have to have streaming experience to pass the company audition. There are 2 Aussies inside, one's a gremlin, one is debut Sara. So yeah, I like lean into your strengths. Honestly, Aria, I guess, you know, it would be nice. I think I did a lot of self-reflection and I was like, because I was like, I think I could be a good VTuber. Why don't they want me? But then, like, look, you know, here I am. And could you imagine, please don't say no to this. Could you imagine PRISM without me? If you say no to this, you're getting immediately banned. I'm just kidding. I can't do that to you. You have the ball carrot at the ready. I promise. I'm not gonna make you abuse your power, Bristle. It's fine. To me, I'm the image of, to me, you're the image of PRISM. That is so sweet. That is like the sweetest thing I've ever read. Oh my god. Sorry, that's how I found PRISM. So I probably not even have watched PRISM enough to know that Ludo was Australian, that Cheeky wasn't a guy. I love you, Sara. You're my favorite Vegemite enjoyer. Thank you. Shogun's idol dreams of his Sara. You might not realize this, but this is what peak idol performance looks like. If they think Luna's Australian, wait till they get a load of me. This is kind of like a follow-on. Can guys be VTubers? Yes. Just because there's a lot of like female VTubers out there, doesn't mean that a guy can't be a VTuber. You can be VTubers, it's okay. I'm giving you permission. I was like putting this in here because it was like, this is such a duh question. Like, why is this one of the most popular questions to ask on Google? Yeah, especially over the past year. There's been a rise of like a lot of male VTubers. I don't actually watch any male VTubers. But that said, I barely watch any female VTubers that are like outside of PRISM as well. The reason why male VTubers aren't as popular as female VTubers is because the main point of VTubers is to interact with anime girls in real time, yeah. But like, I guess you could also, like, girls might want to interact with anime boys in real time. But like, my favorite genre of anime is probably cute girls doing cute things. So that's probably why. I guess like, I'm not the target audience. I don't idolize men. That's probably, I don't mean to say that, like, you know, back it up, boys, it's all over. Girls love art, let's go. You girls are just so aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, so, but I definitely understand that there is like the appeal. And like, for a lot of girls, they want to see a hot Ikemen guy, like, talking to them online, so. But for me, I just want cute girls to pay attention to me. But there is no barrier to guys being VTubers. You know, that's the bar to aspire for, that even Sara Nagare, cute girl enjoyer, might be like, alright, I guess they're pretty good. Anyway, that's it, yeah.